Okay, so I've got this form, and if I'll go to the employees table, you can see that we have got employees, they have employee number. Now, I don't have time to actually create a list form, a form that shows the same records in the list. And so we can do the editing if we have to do so, because there's a button called update record. What's the fastest way? Well, why don't we build a autocomplete feature? So for example, we have employee number, a unique employee number. We can build this feature to type in an employee number and autocomplete the rest of the field. So it pulls the data, the information from the table, and it populates on it, and then I can do the change modification in the record, and I can update the record accordingly. This is what I'm going to demonstrate in this video. So if you are interested, then let's get started. So how are we going to achieve it? We can achieve it in multiple ways. Of course, we have to write the code. Now we can write DLookup or we can write record sets. And you know my preference. I always like record sets. Easy for me to write, and I like writing them. Okay, so let's go to design view. And what I want to do is I want to select the employee number field, because this is where we are going to build the feature that we type in the employee number and it populates everything else. So we select the employee number field, and then we go to the event tab, and there is an event called after update event. So if I click on code builder, here we are in VBA editor. Now, as I said, we're going to use the record set, but we also are going to have the usage of SQL statement one liner, but we will use the SQL as well. That's the beauty, right? So you learn a lot. You learn the SQL statement, how to use the SQL statement within VBA. That's the beauty of these kind of tutorials, I guess. All right, so let's declare some variable. So we'll declare the variable like, for example, dim rs record, right, as record set. And then this is the main declaration of variable. Now we need to declare variable for the string type. Okay, so we'll say dim check record, something like that. You can name anything as string. Great. Now first let's handle this. So we'll say check record. Okay, equal to, we're going to use SQL statement. So basically the idea is that we first fetch. So if I go to the table, we first fetch the record. So record is simply, if I select a line, that's a record. We first fetch the complete record using the employee number column. So that's why we want to first write the SQL statement. So go back to VB editor and we say select what? Well, select everything. From where? From employees table. That's the name of the table, right? From employees. Now we have to have where clause because we are going to select one particular employee. So where clause is critical here. And let's type in where, not like this. We give a space in between two words. So where, this is where it's very important. Now, remember in the previous video, if you have watched my previous video, if you haven't, you should watch after this. That too is very useful video. I can guarantee you that. But um, what you need to focus on is this: what is this value? Is this integer value or is it string value? Because when you're going to refer to this based on the type of value, everything will be changed. So you have to have double quotes only for integer value. Actually, for integer, yeah, you have to have double quote. And then if it is a string value like we have got E002, E010, so on and so forth, this will be classified as string. So when we write the string, we have this sequence of single quote and then a double quote. And now we are going to write this, okay? But before we do that, where we will say emp num equal to, and then right here we will tell me dot emp num. Now, in case if you are confused, let me explain what I've done here. Now, I forgot this ampersand, definitely, me dot emp num. Great. Now, what is happening here? Let me show you. So if we go back here, basically what we are asking Microsoft Access, hey, Microsoft Access, select the record, but Microsoft Access needs to know which record should I select. You may have 10, 12, 10,000 records. And this is where we are going to ask Microsoft Access, look for what employee number is in this field. Look for that and then go and search in the table. And that's what is happening with this line of code. I hope that is understandable. Okay, let's move on. Where do we use this check record? And this is why we have written this first variable. So I'm now going to use this. So set rs record equal current db dot open record set, and we will have Princey open, Princey close, and right here we will give reference of this check record here. Great, and we will say db open snapshot and db read only. So we are only reading the data. We wanted to take the snapshot of the data, and then we can use this later on. Great. Now what do we do? Well, now simply we are going to uh, take the information from this table, populate it on this record. Now, but first we have to identify whether this record actually exists or not. Let's say if the user types E011, that employee number clearly does not exist. So Microsoft Access should throw an error saying there is no employee with E011. So that needs to be added as part of the code. Type if not, and we will say rs record dot eof. Okay, then now what we are saying, and now I'm doing a mistake here, rs record, not res. Else I will explain what is happening here, and then end if. Okay, so what we are doing here, we are asking Microsoft Access scan the entire table, try to find the record with the same employee number that the user has typed. If in the entire file until the end of file EOF, if you found at least one record, then populate the information. If you could not find anything, then throw a message box, and that will come after the else statement saying there's no record with the same employee number. I hope that makes sense. So now let's go ahead and type a few lines of code where we are going to pull the information from the table and we are going to populate it on the form controls. All right, let's do that. I'm going to go to the design view and you would know why. I'll tell you exactly why. So here we are going to go and type in the code. So first of all, we are going to fetch and populate ID field onto the ID field. So let's go ahead and type the code. So we'll say me dot ID equal rs record exclamation mark ID. All right, we're going to repeat this multiple times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think these are the field counts. So we're going to copy simply. Now we're going to paste here. And this is the benefit. Oh, by the way, employee number we are already typing, so we don't need to populate. We'll populate the employee name and department. There you go. And you repeat that for all the fields that you have got. And that's why I always like to keep the name of the text boxes same as the field names. It always helps while writing the code. It makes you efficient. Well, here I can simply just copy and paste. That's it. All right, so that's done. If the record is not found, we will throw a message box. We'll say do cmd.beep message box. There is no record found with the provided employee number. All right, and we'll say VB critical and no record. That's the title of the message box. Now don't forget to close this record set. That's very important. So rs record dot close and set rs record equal nothing. Great, that's about it. I think this should work. Let's try and test first. We'll close this. We'll close this form as well, and we'll bring this to datasheet view so we can refer to employee numbers. And I'm going to open the employee form again. So let's type in the employee number. Let's say first I'm going to type in the employee number that does not exist. So we should know whether this thing actually work or not. So E011, this employee number does not exist. So let's press the tab button on the keyboard, and there you go. There is no record. There is not record. There is no record found with the provided employee number. So click OK. That's great. Now we can change that to, let's say, E010, which is Emma Watson. And there you go. Emma Watson, employee ID number 13. Sorry, the ID number is 13. Emma is in customer service. Emma has full-time job Emma has the email address is this, and salary column is empty. Now let's fetch, let's say, someone with the salary. How about Ted Lasso? Ted Lasso. I really like um the character. So let's E006. There you go. Employee ID E006. ID is 9. Ted Lasso. That's the verification. 9230 is salary. Ted at company.com. Full time HR E006. That's how you write the code. If you want to make it more polished, of course, you can write a code. If the employee number field is empty, then nothing should happen technically. Because let's close this. Let's say I come here and I press the tab button, nothing happens. All right. So if you want to make it like a good UX, you can essentially go ahead and write 2 3 lines of code and saying if the employee number is empty, it should throw an error and saying, hey, type an employee number to search for a record. Right. You can do whatever you wish to do and make it more polished, make it more better actually. That's it. That's the idea. This is what I wanted to demonstrate. I really hope that you have learned something in this video. If you have, just let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. Hit the bell icon so you get notification whenever I upload a new video. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.